How are you guys doing?
Great.
I want to start with congratulations on the movie.
Thank you.
I love learning about like the behind the scenes, I was going to curse, the behind the scenes stuff about the making of a movie. I'm curious for all three of you, what do you think fans would be surprised to learn about the making of this Halloween film?
Well, I
Gosh.
we have different answers.
Yeah.
I defer, yeah.
What would fans be surprised to learn?
Well, you know, like something cool from the making of the film too.
Oh,
Well, I know something that I could say.
Yeah,
'Cause,
please.
you know, when they first asked me to do this, David, our director, said, you know, you need to know about the scene going into it before you say yes. And the swamp scene, he said, I want you to know that there could be alligators.
I saw a behind the scenes thing. I watched that. We had to
I
approve
was
them,
like,
and they showed
alligators?
guys in the
Really?
swamp. And she was like, "What are those guys doing?"
I remember that night, yeah.
Well, and then, you know, I'm looking over, it's 3:30 in the morning, and I'm like, okay, I've got to do this. This is like, it's been building up, and I'm getting scared. I look, and I see three men with like rubber pants on, and like whatever those. I don't think they're called rubber pants, but whatever. And there's with a
Waders, they're
flashlight,
called
waders,
waders.
with a flashlight looking for alligators.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I went up to the alligator handler, and I said, what are the chances that there's really going to be an alligator in there with me? And he said, well, if I were you, it was the snakes I'd be more worried about. And I was like, no, not the snakes. And Michael Myers on top of everything.
When you see her performance and how amazing it is in that scene, we know that she was truly terrified, but not of Michael Myers. It was
Yeah.
of snakes and alligators.
It was a lot.
I didn't know that either until I watched that behind the scenes footage they sent us, and I was like, oh, I can't believe they did that to her.
I totally remember that night, yeah. Because I had to leave a little early and you were left with the alligators. Yeah, that was
I said we're going to take every precaution that a big movie would take. And I was like, what do they do if I get snatched up by an alligator?
The thing, what I'm fascinated by is Halloween has been popular, the franchise has been popular since the 70s. And this character, what do you think it actually is about Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise that has resonated for so long with so many people?
Well, he's really scary, and no one can seem to kill him, so that's pretty relatable
Well, you know,
for all generations.
when you're like at Universal Studios and they're, you know, the characters and they're hired to chase you around on Horror Nights, it's this thing like you don't know, like, you know, it can happen to anybody. So you can feel like that's what I think it's so scary about, like Halloween, trick-or-treating, like
Right.
you don't know who's really in those masks, if they're really a psychopath. So
Oh yeah, go to one of those cons and everyone's dressed up and has a backpack on their back and you're like, we're all gonna die here, like 100%. Like, how is this okay?
100.
That's fun. I saw an interesting interview with David, actually, I was watching yesterday, and he was just saying there's actually a limited mythology about Myers. We don't know really what makes him tick, but I just think that idea of he's everywhere, what the boogeyman represents, right? He could be waiting for you, he could be under your bed, and it's incredible. You know, I think just that idea that he embodies evil and freaks everybody out, that he's always lurking, you know, it's interesting.
There are some, I'm going to use the term vicious kills in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Like some very impressive, very impressive kills. Was there one in particular that you were like,
I have one. When Dylan Arnold and I became friends, and we live in the same neighborhood, and I saw this film and I saw his kill, and I texted him immediately and said, your mother cannot watch this movie. I'm so sorry, and tell her I said hi, but there's no way your mom can see this. And he was like, noted. And he hadn't seen the movie yet, and then when he did see it, he was like, oh yeah, no, my mom can't watch this movie. It was so gruesome. I mean, Michael killed him for his character for like, I think he killed him like it just went on and on and on. But anytime
that was
the
rough.
sound design of this movie with the kills, like the sound of the blood squirting out of people's wounds, like the sound of the bones breaking, the knife going in and then coming out, like
I don't like the eyeballs. The eyeballs
know.
being
That one
watched
freaked
to
me
mess
out.
with. Yeah.
Yeah. The use of a halogen light, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very inventive
he's
kills. has
so
been
quick
noted.
and
Yeah.
creative, Michael.
He is.
He's such a creative guy, isn't
He
he?
really is like
He
an
doesn't limit his
artist.
stabs either. He still goes in for those too.
I know. I feel like it says a lot about Chris Nelson, our the guy who did all the effects and all the makeups. He comes up with, like, he and David Gordon Green, the director, like, they just get together and they're like, how are we going to kill this person? How are we going to kill this person? Because ultimately, Chris is the one that has to do it. So
Right.
it's like, he wants it to be fun for him, and he's a sick he might be a sick person. But
On that note, I just want to say congrats on the film. Thank you so much for giving me your time.
yeah,
Appreciate
thanks.
it. Thanks, Steve.